Okay, so if you're trying to make UGC ads with AI right now, this is the whole process. Start to finish, nothing skipped. And none of this is theory. This is the exact thing I run every week, and I'll show you the screen while I do it. By the end, you'll be able to take one product link and walk out with 30 ads. 15 minutes, give or take. Here's the shape of it. Why UGC still wins, why most AI ads flop, the one thing that fixes consistency, then the 4 actual steps. I'm not holding anything back either. The whole method's in here, including the parts people usually sell you. If you only watch one part, make it the storyboard section in the middle. That's the part that stops you burning money. 1 link, 2 ways to get an actor, 4 steps. That's the entire map. Right. Let's start with why UGC is still the format that works. People don't trust ads, they trust people. That's the whole thing, honestly. Put a glossy studio spot next to a shaky phone clip and watch which one gets scrolled past. It's not close. And the numbers back it up. Creator-style footage just holds attention longer than the polished stuff. Someone in my comments put it better than I could. Here's the thing though, the clip you see is the tiny bit above the water. Everything that makes it work is underneath. I asked people what makes them stop scrolling. The answers were pretty blunt. And this is the part that actually matters to your ad account. Cheaper clicks, straight up. Quick definition, because people use the term loosely. UGC is the look, not the source. Which matters because the brands winning right now aren't making one of these, they're making a lot of them. So there's this trade-off people get backwards. They spend on production value when believability is the thing that's actually carrying the ad. Honestly, the feedback loop is brutal now. People call it out instantly. So that's chapter 1. 3 things to hold on to before we get into the actual how. Okay, so if UGC is obviously the answer, why does almost every AI attempt at it look terrible? You've seen these. That plastic, floaty, uncanny thing where everyone's skin glows slightly? And it's almost always the same handful of causes. Look, this is the list. The nasty part is that one bad choice knocks over the next one. It compounds. And here's the expensive bit. You usually find out after you've already paid for the render. I get pushback on this constantly, so let me just answer the big ones now. And to be fair, the pure prompting approach isn't useless, it's just capped. So really there are 2 roads here, and most people take the wrong one because it looks faster. Because when I actually scored batches, the drift shows up everywhere except the one thing prompting is good at. So the real problem was never realism. Models got good at skin. The problem is sameness. Look at it as a scorecard. Texture is basically solved. Continuity is nowhere near the target, which reframes the whole job. You're not writing a better description, you're giving it something to copy. And this isn't a hot take. Everyone building in this space landed on the same conclusion. So here's the spec sheet for what we're about to build. Nothing fancy, just constraints. And honestly, ranked by how much each one costs you when it breaks, consistency is miles ahead. So the fix has 3 parts. Anchor the look, preview before you pay, then keep the clips short. If you're skimming, that's the video right there. So let's actually cross that gap. This is the piece that does it. This is the contact sheet. Genuinely the most important idea in the whole video. A contact sheet is one image with the same subject shot from a bunch of angles on a plain gray background. Every product in the app gets one automatically. That's this screen here. The reason it works is it stacks. The sheet sits under everything else, so nothing above it is free to wander. The shots on it aren't random either. You want angles and you want tight crops on the fiddly bits. So the mental model is simple. Sheet plus scene equals a clip that matches the last one. The difference is not subtle. This is the same batch, one with the sheet and one without. And structurally, everything downstream reads from that one image. Nothing gets to generate blind. Here's what having it actually buys you compared to the other approaches. So there are 2 hard rules I never break. These cost me money to learn. And when it's set up right, consistency isn't a thing you fight for anymore, it just holds. And the sweet spot is right in the middle here. Realistic and repeatable at the same time. So that's the fix. Now let's build one for real. Step 1, the product. And this one's almost embarrassingly easy. 4 steps total, and we're on the first one. The only input is a URL. That's it. No brief, no brand deck, no prompt. Behind that, it reads the page, pulls the details, and builds the sheet. Takes about a minute. And this is what you end up with in the library. Each one ready to pull into a generation. One thing worth saying, keep the extracted details short, it feeds later prompts so bloat costs you. If the page is weird, and some are, you can nudge it, but I almost never have to. But mostly it's hands off. Here's what step 1 actually costs you. 2 questions I get about this bit constantly. Step 2, the actor. This is where you get an actual choice. Second of 4, 2 paths. Make someone up or use yourself. Both end in the same place. The generate path runs a short video first, grabs the middle frame, and builds the sheet off that, which lands here. Every actor in the library carries their sheet and their base voice. The clone path is even shorter. Selfie, a bit of your voice, done. So which one do you pick? Depends what you're optimizing for, honestly. Either way, and this is the important bit, you end up with the exact same two things. And once you've got a few actors saved, you're basically running a little casting department, and casting genuinely moves numbers. Same script, different face, different result, which is the part people underrate. You can't know that in advance. You find out. Couple of practical notes on getting a good actor out of this. The dial you're aiming for sits closer to boring than beautiful. Sounds wrong, it isn't. Because the second someone looks like a model, it reads as an ad again. And we're back to square one. Okay, step 3. This is the one I told you not to skip. Third of 4, and it's the one that protects your wallet. Here's what it looks like. Every scene comes back as a still image first. You approve them or you send them back. And the point of the gate is that the expensive step sits at the bottom after you've already filtered. So when you're looking at a storyboard, here's what you're actually checking. And when something's off, it's usually one of 4 things. Each has a different fix. Here's the actual arithmetic on skipping this gate. It's not small. Put another way. Without the gate, roughly 1 clip in 10 survives. So the loop at this stage is dead simple. Look, decide, either fix 1 frame or go. And honestly, this is where the whole experience stops being stressful. You stop gambling. There's a hierarchy to what matters in a storyboard too. Most people fuss over the outer ring. If you want it ranked bluntly, here you go. And the clip maths matters here too. Models cap around 15 seconds, so longer videos just mean more boards. One more thing, boards inside a single video have to match each other. Boards across different videos are meant to differ. That's the gate. It's 1 screen and it saves you more money than anything else in this video. Step 4, render and merge. This part you mostly just watch. Last one, each approved board becomes a clip and the clips get stitched into the finished ad. And here's a detail that took me way too long to work out. The video call only gets the spoken line. Timing-wise, a batch of 30 runs in the background. You don't sit there watching it. So the actual numbers on a run look like this. Credits sit here, and they only move once you've approved something. That's deliberate. Against how this used to go, the difference is a bit silly. And what lands is a normal video file, vertical, ready for wherever you're running it. That's the 4 steps done. Genuinely, that's the whole build. But making the ads was never the hard part. What you do with 30 of them is, because 30 ads is not 30 times the work, it's 30 times the chances. And performance is never evenly spread, it's 1 or 2 carrying everything. So the whole point of volume is finding the top of that list, which you cannot do by guessing. And winners decay. The one crushing it this week is Tired in 3. That's just how it goes, which means this is a loop, not a project. Ship, read, cut, rebuild, ship again. Run that loop for a month and the compounding is where it gets fun. All right, let me just dump everything useful in one place before we finish. And if you want one number to aim at, it's this: 30 a month, minimum. Last thing, 2 beliefs that keep people stuck and what's actually true. So quickly, everything we covered, that's the whole method. Nothing held back, and honestly nothing complicated once the sheet is in place. There's a free prompt pack and a few example ads in the description if you want the shortcut. And if this was useful, subscribe. I do these weekly.